Pretty cool. We're going to be looking at a brilliantly simple idea that could completely change how you think about the water that goes down your drain, especially if you're trying to keep a garden alive and well. So it really all starts with this one number, over 80 gallons. That's about how much water the average person uses at home every single day. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's your shower, washing the dishes, doing laundry. It's a massive amount, and almost all of it just vanishes. And that, of course, brings up the big question, doesn't it? What if a huge chunk of that water, the gray water from our sinks and showers, didn't have to be a one and done kind of thing? What if we could give it a second life, really easily and safely? Well, what if the answer comes from one of the most powerful and honestly, one of the most elegant forces in all of nature? We are talking about a solution that's inspired by the incredible physics of a cyclone. And here it is. It's called the Cyclone Water Reuse Model. The whole concept is to take that gently used water from your house and get it ready for a brand new job, and to do it all without any fussy filters or harsh chemicals. And this quote really just nails the core idea. It's not about using brute force. It's about working with the simple, totally predictable physics of a spinning vortex. It's just a crazy efficient way to separate the good water from all the gunk. So how in the world does a cyclone in a little box actually work? Okay, let's get into the science of the spin and see how a really basic law of physics turns into a seriously practical tool. Okay, this entire system really hinges on one key idea, centrifugal force. And I promise you, you've absolutely felt this before. If you've ever been on one of those spinning carnival rides that kind of pins you to the wall, yeah, that's it. It's that force that's pushing everything away from the center. And the faster it spins, the stronger that force gets. Now, what's really fascinating here is how it all comes together in just a few super elegant steps. So first, that used water gets shot into this cone-shaped chamber, and that immediately gets it spinning. Bam, you've got a vortex. As that spin gets faster and faster, centrifugal force takes over and just flings the heavier stuff, we're talking bits of soap, dirt, whatever, right against the outer wall. Then it just slides down and out. But here's the really clever part. The lighter, cleaner water, it actually forms its own little vortex right up the middle and swirls out through a totally separate pipe. It's like a perfectly choreographed dance. So the bottom line is this. Think of it like a super-powered salad spinner, but for water. It's using nothing but pure physics, just motion to separate the clean from the grime, instead of some filter that's just going to get clogged anyway. It's such a simple idea, but mechanically, it's just perfect. Okay, the science is really cool, for sure. But what about the results? I mean, what does this actually look like when you go from soapy drain water to something you can actually put on your plants? And here's the proof, right here. On the left, that's your typical gray water. It's cloudy, it's got stuff floating around. You are definitely not putting that on your prize-winning roses. But look at the right. After just one quick trip through the cyclone, it is a world of difference. The water is so much clearer, and it's totally ready for the garden. And that, right there, is the real beauty of this whole system. You're getting water that's perfect for your garden, and you haven't added a single chemical to do it. It's a purely physical process, simple, natural, and just a much smarter way to handle our water. So this is way more than just a neat little science project. A piece of technology this simple can have a huge ripple effect, no pun intended. Let's just zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. And the benefits really start to add up fast. For starters, you're saving a huge amount of fresh water, which is amazing for the planet and, let's be real, for your water bill. You're also cutting out chemicals, which your plants and the soil are going to love you for. But it's also about this bigger idea, right? Shifting to a more circular lifestyle where we reuse what we've already got. And maybe the best part? The tech is so simple. No filters to buy or replace. It's pretty much hassle-free. And it really brings home a bigger point. So often, we're chasing these incredibly complex, high-tech fixes for our problems. But sometimes, the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones, the ones that nature already perfected a long, long time ago. So that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. If the simple power of a vortex can change something as fundamental as watering our gardens, what else is out there? What other basic forces of nature are just waiting for a smart idea to unlock their potential and help us solve our everyday problems?